Hello everyone and welcome to your healing session for this Taurus season. It is a POV style healing session which we're gonna get right into as soon as I introduce to you the energies that we will be working on for this Taurus season. It actually comes perfect because it is a more slow transition energy, I would say, compared to the fast action tracking of the Aries season. It's going to be slowing down a little bit. It's more routine based, more stability, more hardworking as well, compared to the Aries season where it is like let's go, let's go, let's go. It's a little bit more, we're gonna lean back, but we're still gonna work hard for everything that we're trying to achieve, as well as body wise we will be focusing on any throat issues and any glandular problems. I hope I pronounced that right. I never heard of that word, but I mostly want to focus on the throat issues, I would say, since the throat chakra is connected to a lot of throat issues we have. I feel like that's our main point that we should be focusing on. So I hope you're just as excited as I am. We're gonna get right into the POV style. Getting right into it, we will be focusing on taking life a little bit more slow and steady instead of rushing through it like we're losing time. If you have anxiety, that you feel like you have to rush through everything really fast, this will help calm it down. Or maybe you keep comparing yourself to other people's success with their life, what they achieved or what they have lived through, and you feel like you're getting left behind. This will also help soothe your mind and understanding that your path is different than what this person's is. Maybe you haven't gotten to that point because you still had certain other things to learn about. Or maybe what you were expecting was just way too small for you and you were meant for something much bigger. Something that can also help you set the mood is on your day offs. Just start like a slow morning routine. Usually we are so used to rushing through the day, like eat quickly breakfast, get ready quickly and stuff like that. But I would totally recommend you start doing like slow morning routines. For example, what I'm doing currently, because I also am human and switch back to old habits that are not that well for me, but I try my best every day. So I got back into reading in the morning instead of just being on my phone. I mean, even on my phone I was reading still, but it was just, you know, unnecessary screen time in the morning that was not needed. So I switched it out for my book. So I just read a chapter of the book and then eat breakfast at the same time, and it really gets me slowly into the mood. And after that, then I do my skincare. Like, my skincare also is something that helped me over the last 3 years to implement like a slow, steady morning routine, because if you want it done good and beneficial for your skin, you shouldn't rush your skincare. So find little things that make it a little bit easier for you. Or as well as work-wise, just if you have things that you need to do at work, then yes, maybe there's a little bit more of a time crunch, but at home with your chores, you don't need to finish everything in like 1 hour. You can just take it slow, make breaks in between if that's what you need. Just try to listen more intuitively what your body needs that day. And also, now that I think of it, let's make it a challenge. I challenge you to listen to, for the whole freaking Taurus season, listen more to your body, what you need. Something also that can help you is building new routines that bring you a little bit more of a stability into your life. And look for those routines to be like non-negotiables for yourself, to be routines where you say, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna commit. And even on the days where you betray yourself a little bit with the thinking, oh, let's just skip this, you know yourself that it is a non-negotiable for you. That even if someone were to say spontaneously, hey, let's hang out, but let's say you have like, I don't know, an art class, and you're like, oh no, I can't because I have my art class. That's, for example, a non-negotiable, but you can tell that person, but I am free then and then. The same goes for yourself. You need some non-negotiables for yourself, and that's also like a process that you need to figure out for yourself. If you're clueless on new things that you want to maybe implement into your life, I highly suggest Pinterest. I had a lot of inspiration from there on things that I started to implement in my life. Also, Tauruses are really good at romanticizing their lives, I feel. So Pinterest is basically the perfect place to look for routines like that. Now that we have the personality types down, I'm gonna move on to the planet that Taurus is ruled by, and that one is Venus. So I'm gonna firstly raise your compassion. And something I realized while setting the intention is, for us human beings, it's actually not that difficult to show compassion. But do you know who it is difficult to show compassion? To yourself. And I feel like a lot of people overlook that. So instead of like compassion for everyone, I want here the focus point to be raising the compassion for yourself. Why wouldn't you look at yourself the same way you look at other people? Next on the Venus part is the arts. We're gonna use here this the Pedialyte. I chose here the arts because I feel like when you notice all the beautiful things around you, it is so much easier to see how blessed you are in your life. For example, it can be little things like when you're on your walk, like some beautiful flowers that make you really happy, or a beautiful painting, or a music piece that you just recently discovered and you're just so in love with it that you listen to it 20 times a day until you're sick of it. It's just little things like that that are beautiful. And I feel like it's really a privilege to humankind to have this in our life. There's just something so mesmerizing about it, in my opinion, that we should try to see it more often, seek it out, maybe even as a hobby, do something. If you're someone that's creative, that's something that can really fill you with a light that can improve your everyday so much. For example, I always, as a creative person, dabbled in different hobbies. I was really into drawing. I, at some point, started learning a little bit to play the piano, but nothing never really sticked so much like dancing. And I've been dancing, I think, since I was 10, 11 years old, and recently I just started to get into ballet, and that's where I found something like home. Basically, it is really hard and really difficult of dance because it requires a lot of strength, a lot of preciseness, but at the same time it's so graceful and beautiful and feminine. And when I tell you, since I started dancing ballet, it's going to be almost like 2.5 months, something just really opened up for me. And I want every single one of my viewers to find something like that for themselves. Something that fills you up with an energy every week to just keep pushing. Next, Taurus rules the second house. And we're gonna give you here a financial boost with this green aventurine. gonna focus this also over your heart chakra to open you up to the idea of your finances getting bigger and bigger. For some people, they really want more money, but they are kind of like afraid how it then feels having that much money, because their relationship with money isn't really the best. So we're gonna just slightly soothe that and strengthen your connection with money. I don't know if the microphone just picked up on it, but there was like a hawk, and the hawks in this area rarely make any sound, so I'll just take that as confirmation from spirit. We move on now towards the earth element, which is what Taurus is ruled by. It's an earth sign, and I know a lot of people, when they think of the earth element, they automatically think about groundedness, which is why I chose this, because it's actually such a different or like difficult topic for some people to implement it into their everyday life, me included. My grounding exercise weekly is walking through the forest and listening to a podcast, because all the other exercises where they say, oh, envision roots growing out under your feet and into the earth, it worked for my beginning in the spiritual practice, but then it started to become really annoying, I would say. It just didn't really fit with me. So you gotta search what grounds you the best. For some people it's painting, for some people it's exercising. You gotta find your individual task and then decide, this is my grounding exercise. And the more meaning and intention that you give to that specific task, the easier it is for you to just go and do it, and subconsciously your body already knows, okay, now is the time to start grounding. And you know, it's been really effective when you for some reason skip it and you just feel really, really off. So that's what we're focusing on here, not only to make you more grounded, also to find ways for yourself that is easy to ground and to find your individual grounding exercise. It doesn't always have to be how it is by the book. There are certain ground rules in spirituality which I don't necessarily agree always. So, you know, not everything works the same for everyone, because it is an individual practice. We move on to the fixed part. Taurus is a fixed sign, and they are really, really hardworking people. I'm gonna use that to our advantage. And giving here a premiere to one of my new babies in my collection, which is this snow quartz. Please focus on its beauty. It's such a cute stone. I'm so in love with it. it is a really intuitive and mostly divine feminine energy, but the intuitive part of this crystal is really going to help you with being hardworking without having to feel like you're just overexerting yourself. You know, just as much as possible without fully neglecting your body and your mind. And it deepens now the connection with your body to know, when can I use my full power, or when do I have to divide it a little bit but still be hardworking on the project that you want to fulfill. We move on to the other card now, and we're going to first focus on your throat. I'm gonna remove any throat issues you have, especially thyroid issues if you know you suffer from that, so that it removes any hormonal imbalance. I'm gonna use this sodalite crystal. Just look how cool this crystal looks. Kind of reminds me of like the waves on a seashore. It's just so So beautiful. I'm gonna focus that directly on your throat here. Balancing out your sacral, excuse me, your throat chakra and strengthening it, clearing out anything that no longer serves you. Heal any illnesses that might have occurred from a blocked throat chakra. As well as helping you speak up. Maybe you tried it multiple times. You felt like a lump in your throat chakra, or when you spoke your truth the next day, maybe you had like a sore throat. That was because everything is being removed and you're slowly opening it up. Just gonna put it directly on your throat here. Now that we have that cured, we're also going to focus on your health, on your glandular organs. And in complete honesty, I forgot what part of the body those were in, so I'm just going to smooth Reiki all over your body. Thankfully, Reiki knows where to go and where to heal. If this were an individual one-on-one healing session, obviously Reiki would show me energetically where on the body I need to work on. But it's a little bit more difficult for the collective to kind of like pinpoint the energy, since there's so many mixed energies here right now. But if I were to work on a one-on-one session with someone and they do have some kind of issue in their body, that body part gets highlighted in a red color, and that way it's a little bit easier. I don't have to fully let Reiki do its own thing. That way I can direct it a little bit more easier. But it's a collective healing session, so I'll let Reiki take over here. Finishing up with an aura of love. And if you made it this far into the video and you have any Taurus placement in your birth chart, let me know. I would love to know all about our Taurus people here. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I will see you in our next healing session. Goodbye, everyone.